Welcome back. This is Eric Roden, Doctor of Physical Therapy at Neurology Solutions, and today we're going to go over a hip flexibility and opening series. We have JP here, one of my students. He's going to be helping as a demo as I narrate. So let's begin. We're going to start in a half kneeling position, which JP is already in. Now, if this is a challenge for you to be in, or if you need a little bit more balance help, put a chair right next to you for support. But what JP is going to do is he's going to sit up or stand up nice and tall. And he's going to actually tuck his hip underneath him as he slowly shifts forward. So basically, literally, you're trying to tuck your butt underneath you. And he's going to now maintain that for about 15 seconds. So what he's going to focus on is feeling the stretch in the back leg. And he's going to be focusing on taking a nice deep breath the entire time. A few add-ons that you can do is bringing the arm overhead. So with the left hand, he can reach overhead. And then bring it back down. And we're going to switch sides. So again, if you need to hold on to something for balance, make sure you do the butt tuck first and do that nice weight shift forward until you feel a real good stretch in the front of the right leg or the back leg, whatever side you are doing. Again, you can bring that arm up overhead. Another added one is you can actually tilt to the left. So you side bend a little bit, and that's really going to light up that whole area. You're really going to feel that. JP's definitely feeling it. And we're going to come back right out of there, and we're going to switch back to the other side. So these are going to be relatively quick stretches, about 15-20 seconds. So again, we're going to tuck, shift forward. We're just going to do the standard one on this one. Focus on the breath, nice deep inhales, long exhale. Get rid of all the bad, bring in the good, and just focus on feeling more stretch through those muscles in the front of the hip. Excellent. All right, we're going to switch back to the other side. Last one for this drill. And here we go. Tuck the butt, shift forward. Feeling that nice big stretch. Again, you can add those modifications if you want. Definitely a fan of this one. Actually, it can help with low back pain, as well as just getting a better stride length. So definitely a good one to practice. Okay, we're going to move on now to a quadruped position, so hands and knees. And what JP is going to do is he's going to bring his knees as wide apart as possible while keeping his feet relatively together, okay? So he's in kind of this frog position, so to speak. Now what he's going to do is he's going to lean back into his heels with his butt, so trying to touch his butt to his heels, and he's feeling a really, really big stretch right in the basically kind of the groin area, inner thighs. If you don't feel that, you can go wider. Now again, JP is actually pretty flexible here. And we're going to do a nice long hold on this first set. Make sure you are breathing. In and out. Good. He's going to come out of there. And now we're going to do more of a pulsing in and out version. So he's going to go right back into that wide base position, feet together still. And he's going to rock slowly in and out of the stretch position. So he's rocking forward and he's rocking backwards each time, trying to get deeper into that stretch. Again, the goal is not necessarily to come excessively forward, but each subsequent rock you want to go back further into that stretch. So this will be more of a dynamic version versus the first one was a static version. Excellent. Let's do 2 more of those rocks. Last one. Excellent. All right, so he's going to stay in that quadruped position. He's going to bring his knees a little closer together now. And we're going to isolate one side. So one leg is going to go out to the side straight. And so most of his weight is going to be on that leg that is still bent and underneath his hips. And we're going to do the same rocking motion back into the heel. And he is really feeling that stretch on the right leg that is extended out. So again, we're doing a nice static hold this first round. Make sure we're breathing. In and out. We're doing this for about 20 seconds. You're doing well. Keep it up. Really important areas to open up is those inner thighs, especially if you're in a wheelchair, you're seated a lot. This tends to be a common area that will get tight on you. Good. Let's come out of there. And let's switch sides. Again, that one hip goes right, or the one knee goes right underneath the hip, the other leg goes extended out, and rock back until you feel that nice stretch. Now you may notice one side might be a little tighter than the other, Or if you've had a total knee or a knee injury, maybe you don't have that ability to bend the knee as far. That is okay, just do what you can. Or if you're having trouble with this, make sure you follow up with your trainer or therapist so they can clarify or modify accordingly. Excellent. All right, we're going to go back to the other side again. So switch back. This time again, just like the last series, we're going to do a rock in and out. We're going to do 5 of those. So it's a nice deep stretch into it and then come right back out. Again, this should be a very fluid motion. It shouldn't be jerky. We're just going in and out. Just think of like a tide of water flowing in and flowing back out. Good, that's 2. 3, make sure we continue to breathe. When we're focused on something a little more complex, we forget to. So if you're turning red, that's a problem. All right, last one, and then we're going to switch back. Always be careful when you're bringing the leg back in. You've stretched an area that tends to be very tight. It can be problematic for a spasm or even a little bit of pain initially. So easy when you're coming out of these stretches. Okay, we're going to rock in again. Here we go. You notice JP can get a little lower on his other side. Again, had some prior knee issues, so that is why. So realize you might have that asymmetry, or maybe your disease is affecting one side more than the other. You might notice that asymmetry as well. But our goal here is to try to become symmetrical. Almost there. Last one, or was that 5? All right, here we go. Last one, you're doing well. Good. All right, we are now going to transition onto a sitting position, and we're going to do basically the butterfly stretch, or again, another hip opening drill, really focusing on kind of those adductor groups. So as you say, JP, again, he's got some pretty good flexibility on his hips. He's sitting nice and tall, thinking of a string pulling his head up. And then his legs go wide, and you're going to try to pull in those feet as far as you can towards basically kind of the groin area as tolerated. You don't want to hurt yourself. Just ease in there. You can always adjust as you go on. And you're going to just let gravity take those knees and let them drop towards the ground. So on each subsequent breath, feel the knees almost getting a little heavier, trying to drop towards. You're going to feel a really, really nice stretch in that hip complex there. Again, we're breathing. Every breath, imagine that your body is lengthening, it's loosening up. You're becoming more and more flexible. This one we're going to do a little longer holds here, okay? Just focusing on the breath. You're doing well. You can close your eyes, keep them open, whatever feels comfortable. Let's go one more deep breath in and out. Good. All right, now staying in that same position, we're now going to go into kind of a splits position. So his legs are going to both straighten out on either side. And he's going to go nice wide stance, kind of as wide as you can with those legs. All right. And we're going to side bend. We're going to side fold onto one side. So he's going to take his left hand and he's going to reach for the inside of his right leg. And he's also going to bring that right hand along with it if he can. Really stretching down there. Now we're allowing the back to fold. We want his head to relax as well. And we're letting his whole body just kind of fold in half. So you might feel this in the back. You will definitely feel it in the hamstrings, and most likely a little bit in kind of that those groin musculature. All right, we're going to come back up nice and slow, and we're going to do the same to the other side. And again, just allow your whole back to roll out, round out. Let the head tuck and just relax, almost like you're trying to bring your head to your knees. So we found a spot JP's a little tighter in compared to the last one. Again, if you can't touch your toes, that is okay. Maybe you touch your shins, maybe you touch your knee. Whatever works, wherever you're at now, continue to work at it and you will improve. Okay, we're going to come back out of there. Now this time, instead of rounding the back, we're going to try to stay as tall as possible, and we're going to tilt that pelvis forward as we stretch. So we're going back to the right. So you're going to see JP is going to be big and tall, and when he tilts that pelvis, you notice he can't go quite as far. That's not uncommon. Basically, we're winding up that whole hip complex, and we're really tapping into those hamstrings. You might feel that even more so in the back of your leg. Make sure you continue to breathe, especially if the stretch is intensified. And let's come back up into the middle. And let's go to the other side now. Again, make sure you do that tilt, staying nice and tall, trying not to round out the back, moving from the hips more than anywhere else. Really should feel this in the hamstrings and the groin. We're breathing, we're almost there. Okay, we're going to come back out of there, and we're going to finish up with a nice piriformis glute stretch. So, one knee is going to be in a bent position, the other one is going to come across the other knee. Now, if this is too challenging for you, that may be something where you can lay on your back, but if you can be in this position, so actually bring it above, across the top of the knee. And he's definitely feeling that in his hips, right? So he's a little tight in this one. So he may not be able to get that above his knee, and that is totally fine. There's also a variation in one of our other stretch series where you're doing it in a chair. All right, we're going to switch sides. You can see his right leg is a little more flexible than the left during this drill. He can actually get that past his knee. And he's making sure he's taking those nice deep breaths in and out. He's really feeling in the rotators of the hip. And we're going to switch back again. This will be the last round on each side. You're doing well. Those hips are now feeling a lot looser compared to sitting all day. They tend to tighten up. So I highly encourage you to keep doing these routinely. Even a couple times a day would be great. Nice, long, smooth breaths in and out. All right, we're going to switch back. This is our last one. Let's finish strong. And again, all these stretches, you know, this is not the all-inclusive. This is just a nice general opening drill for the hips, improving some flexibility. If you are a routine sitter, I highly recommend doing this. If you have a desk job, this is a great little series. As well as we have a whole sitting series in a chair. Definitely check that one out. All right, and JP is going to finish that up. And he's all done. So thank you for joining us. Thank JP for demoing for us. And we will see you next time.